Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. Hope everyone had a great week, and I hope that you are having a great weekend. I don't want to keep you for too long today, so we're just going to get straight to today's show. The title of today's show is Take It Easy on Me, and the topic is the necessities of book reviews. Book reviews often remind me of report card time during my school years. A progress report to showcase how well or poorly I did during that 6 weeks or however long the grading period was between each report card. Scary times, wondering if you weren't studious enough or that you actually told the line. Still, that doesn't lessen the necessity of why book reviews exist and why every author should want their work reviewed when it is one of the most valuable author resources. Consumers across the board rely on reviews before making decisions on hotels, restaurants, movies, and more. You know, it just does not fall under book reviews, but all types of reviews. And we even read food labels to ensure we get the most bang for our buck. You know, and not to dismiss the nutritional values that we're also searching for when we read those labels, but also, you know, we weigh the ounces and the pounds and you know, the brand names against the store brand names, and you know, just different things like that. But still, it's that information that is on the outside packaging that helps us to make the right choice. And that is the same way with books. We read the labels on the book covers, either on the inside cover or the back cover, to see what the story is about. And then we go to, we check the book out online and we look at those reviews to see what other readers have said about that, about the story and about that author. Those things are all important, okay? The fact is, reviews are a valuable asset to our lives. And if we like a product, we buy it and tell anyone who will listen if it's good. Don't we do that? We most certainly do. And if we hate it, we spread the word even faster. Book reviews work in that same fashion, and they are a two-way street. The author and reader benefit when reviewers do their job well. You know, I've read so many books, and I've read so many different book reviews. And some, you know, books I've read didn't have many book reviews, and I was like, my goodness, you know, why hasn't people, given reviews about this author, about this story? Because the story was just, you know, so well written. The characters were so well developed. The story was just great, you know, and I've given it 4 and 5 stars because I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know. So I can't understand why it didn't have more reviews, but a lot of times it's because the readers don't know that those books are out there, you know, and that may be due to marketing or whatever. But anyway, that's another show. So we'll save that for another time. So we just want to focus on the book reviews today. But I just wanted to mention that because, I just find it just odd that, that these books are so good, but they have very little reviews. So we'll get to that on another day once I investigate and see why that is. Okay. Now, I often refer to book reviews as constructive criticism. a necessary evil to gauge strengths and weaknesses of what the reviewer thought of your work. And trust me, we are human, and it does something to the human psyche if you get a bad review. It just does. It makes you wonder, well, why am I even doing this? Why did I go to all the trouble to write this book, just to get this review? But the thing of it is that everyone has their own opinion, and so and maybe it just wasn't for them. Instead of just saying, well, the book was good, but I didn't enjoy it, or maybe it didn't end the way they thought it would, and so they just decided to give a bad review based on the fact that the author didn't write the story the way they thought it should be written. So, don't fret about that. You will get those bad reviews, but the good reviews will outweigh all the bad ones, okay? So you just need to know that going in, all right? Now, still, in that same vein, we want our books discussed in vast circulations in more ways than one, because no book is a one-size-fit-all for readers. Therefore, opinions will vary. I can't say that enough. One essential tool, since no reader walks away with the same impression of any story, it is valuable to have as many descriptive details of reviewer opinions of your work as an author as possible. That's just so necessary. And there should be a balance between good, not so good, and bad reviews, okay? So don't think that all the time. Don't be afraid as an author to put yourself out there because you want those reviews. And because you need them, as a writer, as an author, you need them, to sell your product. So, don't be hesitant about that, asking for reviews and things of that nature, because it's just so necessary, okay? And if we look at it from the reader's perspective, it is more likely that the next person will read the review and give a thumbs up or down based on that context, okay? So, it's just necessary. Because most people, before they buy a book, that's the first thing they do. Well, the title catches it catches their eye first and foremost, and then they read the little the synopsis of the book, either the short one or they read the long one, and then before they actually buy it or pass on it, well, this is what I do anyway. So, and I don't know, other people may be like me, other readers may be like me. But I want to go and I'll look at some of the reviews. I don't look at all of them. I just maybe look at the, at the first few. And then if there is more, I'll click on it, because a lot of times they don't put the bad reviews at the top, you'll just get all the good ones. But if you go through them, sometimes there are a lot of reviews, and you don't want to go through every single one of them just to get to that bad one. But I've noticed with Amazon, when they have reviews out there, sometimes they have the bad ones, near the top as well. They have the good ones and the bad ones close to the top, so you can see what you're dealing with. And so I think that's fair. Because every person's opinion is important, and it should be listed. Because that's only fair to the consumer, to the reader as well, to know what was actually said about this book. But the determining factor about any book that you read is it should be based on your opinion, if you like it or not, and not what someone else said. Because, like I mentioned before, not everyone feels the same way about every book. Opinions will vary. They just will. Okay? Vanity aside, authors want reviews because it sells more books and critiques how well they tell the characters' stories. And that's just the simple truth of the matter. I would be lying if I said otherwise. We depend on those reviews. Sometimes our vanity does take a hit when we get bad reviews, but it's all part of the process. You take the good with the bad. That's just how it is. You have to roll with those punches. But but still, we need those book reviews, because the more reviews we have means that it's going to drive more traffic to our books, and that means that more people will buy them and read them. So, we want you to help us out, and then we try to do our best to make sure that, you are getting everything that you expected from that story, if not more. Books without reviews are invisible, and they really are. You can, of course you can search for them, you can go out there and search for them, but still, if they have no reviews, if they have no stars, sometimes they have stars without reviews, most people will just pass right over those books, because it's like, well, this book is not even worth reading because it doesn't even have any reviews. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you are passing over a gem to get a book that has 1,000 or 2,000 or even maybe more reviews, and then you start reading the book, and then you're like, why in the world does this book have these many reviews and it's not even good? At least you didn't like it, But and I've read quite a few books like that as well. It had thousands of reviews. And then I start reading the book, and it's like, I barely make it through the first chapter before I give up on it, or just, put a pause on that one and then go read something else. And, if I think about it again, then I'll go back to that book and try to read it, try to start over. Maybe my mind wasn't in the right frame that day, or maybe my thoughts weren't collected and they were just all over the place and I just couldn't focus. But most of the time it has nothing to do with that. And all of the time it's because the book wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel it. But also I didn't leave a review because I didn't want to do that, especially if I didn't finish reading the book. So, because that's not fair to the author when you do that. You don't finish reading the book, to get the full story. You just stop reading it, and then you want to give a bad review just because you wasn't into it or you weren't feeling it. That's not fair. So please, please, please don't ever do that. If you feel as though, this book is not taking you where you want to go, then just stop reading it. But don't review it either. Don't talk bad about it because you didn't like it, but you didn't finish reading it either. That's not fair. So we want to be fair in our assessments, okay? So just keep that in mind. But anyway, books, they're just like I said, that it doesn't mean that that the book wasn't great, but it was just overlooked, because of that. But anyway, books are often starred, ranging from 1 to 5 stars, which is terrific, but could have greater reader impact if accompanied by a review, okay, with the potential to attract book clubs, bookstores, and other reader communities, okay? And one major takeaway from book reviews is that they validate the author's worthiness, especially when the reviewers are real and not manufactured. That could lead to book deals with a major publisher. I'm talking about the reviews and not the manufactured ones, okay? I just didn't want to get that twisted, just in case you thought that was what I was talking about. I wasn't. I'm talking about those honest reviews that are out there, and not the ones that have been bought or I saw something on social media, I think it was last week, where you could actually pay someone to review your book. And I don't think that's fair. I actually think that's cheating, to pay anyone to review your book. It should be because they actually bought your book and they actually read your book. So you earned that review and you didn't pay for it. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, book reviewers can be brutal, no matter how much we need them to survive. We can't expect them not to give their honest feedback. Fact, I would rather have an honest review than none at all. All right, guys, that is our show for today. But before I let you go, I want to make sure I give you these URLs. Of course, the first one is to Spreaker, and that is at https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian Moore. You can follow me over all social media, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Instagram is by invitation only. You can also check out my website. That is at authorvivianemore.com or authorehshepherd.com. My blog site is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com. And also, if you missed the live show today, you can always listen to the recorded episodes that are each and every week. You can listen to them on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, Dial Savin, iTunes, Audible.com, Verbal Luminary, and Apple Music. Okay, so those are some of the places, not all the places, where you can listen to Book Chat. Okay, I just wanted to throw those at you so I could give you a head start on where to look and listen for Book Chat. All right, so tomorrow is Worship Day. It is the first Sunday, and it's a bittersweet day for me. Because we lost our dear sweet pastor just a few days ago, and we're still reeling over that. At least I'm still reeling over that, and just trying to deal with it in my own way. And it's very, very tough because he was so respected as a pastor and as a human being. And, that is such a rarity these days, to find someone that you respect just on all levels. And but life goes on. So, we have to just keep moving forward, and hopefully in the right direction. And, just keep carrying on in his name and in Jesus' name. Because that's who we're doing it for, and that's who our pastor did it for. And he was truly a man of God, and he will be missed so much. He will be missed by everyone. But I hope that you are attending worship service somewhere, whether it's at home or if you are going out, to the brick and mortar building. Just be safe, and I can't stress that enough, because COVID is still out there. It's not completely over with yet. And, we're praying on a daily basis for that too, for an end for that. Only God knows when that will take place as well. And that's why I always say it's so crucial to tell people how you feel about them while you can tell them how you feel about them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.